Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Just enjoy it. You know, like our sophomores, this could be a possibly last game. So I think enjoy it, enjoy the experience, enjoy the experience of being here at Nationals. Play as hard as they can.
He's giving us everything he's got. He's doing a great job. He's knocking down free throws, 19 points, 10 rebounds. He's kind of our do-it-all guy, and we didn't do a good enough job, I think, getting him the ball, especially early. And then finally we decided to throw it in there, and then he went to work.
Downloaded Dickinson, muscles it up and in. Kansas by 3, 27-20 for Hunter Dickinson.
We got to get better at guarding the ball. We're always end up very good, but I thought we showed some clues. Maybe we screwed up and we go from winning 72 to 70 to down 78, 72, and then I think we outscored them 17 to 6. We made all the right plays.
The back-to-back win over Missouri and Mississippi, and Missouri goes out and beats Tennessee 36-7. And Georgia game's tied 14-all, and everyone's thinking track meet, and then all of a sudden they go on a 38-3 run.
If you beat Oregon, you earned it, and you deserved it. That's the wild thing to me, because Oregon could very well be a top 4 team if they were undefeated.
Right. Sean Payton's got him moving in the right direction. Russ is playing better. He's running the ball more. Plays aren't there that he can go ahead and make plays with his feet like he used to in Seattle. Those around him are playing better. Payton's got him firing on all cylinders. They are absolutely a nice story based on where they started and where they are.
Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. It is the Wednesday Sports Day show. Steve Webster, your host today. Aaron Clark is in. Mike Corson is in. And Mike Hesher is in as we get ready to navigate the road of sports here in the Golden Belt. On the program today, Raphael Simmons. They're still alive in the tournament. We'll get at actually what is going on down in Wichita, although I did talk. They play at 1 o'clock today, but we'll get into that. He's going to be on the air, but we can talk about that here in just a moment because he is one of the sounds the past 24 hours. Also, Zach Baird will be in studio. They're headed up to Norton on Friday. And also with him will be Taryn Kraft. I think Taryn's rested up after toting the ball 31 times on Friday night. And also, Jason Robinson will be in. And we'll talk Fort Hays State with Gerard Walbrock, find out how some of our local guys did this year that are playing for the Tigers. But let's get to our sounds of the past 24 hours or so. That is Raphael Simmons. They live to play another day. They had it all figured out, right? Then you go in there even deeper. So anyway, Barton wins yesterday 2-1. They had to score in the 85th minute. In most sports, that means with 5 minutes to go in the game. So they scored, and that tied it up, and then they go into the extra, and the golden goal. They got the golden goal, so they win 2-1 over second-ranked Salt Lake. And so now there's a 3-way tie. And talking to Coach Simmons, that's never happened before because what's going to happen today, Todd Moore called it a bizarre mini pool tournament that will decide who will play in the semifinals tomorrow. So at 1 o'clock, Barton will go out against Indian Hills, a team they lost to in the first round, and they will play a 10-minute, basically a sudden death. If no one scores there, then they'll play another 10-minute one. And then, as always, it'll probably come down to penalty kicks after that. Then they'll take a 20-minute break, and the winner of that, then they will take on Salt Lake in another 10-minute possible penalty kick to find out who moves on to the semifinals. That's Raphael Simmons yesterday. What he was going to tell his players before the game started, he said, just go ahead and have a good time. Enjoy the national tournament. They're getting to enjoy the national tournament even more than what they even expected.
I tried to Google this stuff when I heard you talking about it this morning. Couldn't find anything.
It's never been done
so, yeah,
before.
It's like, where did they come up with this? And then how do you figure, obviously the last team I would say has the advantage. Probably they'll be fresh. Was that by seeding, do we know? Probably the top seed got to be the advantage.
That was the top seed in the pool for sure. Was Salt Lake.
So that's how they're going to decide. Soccer's a beautiful sport.
Wait,
man.
hey, you won exciting soccer. That sounds pretty exciting. Golden
I
goal
kind of like that.
situations.
Yeah, golden goal. Just go out there. So the thing, obviously, because then you've got to play. If you end up winning, you would have to play in a semifinal, a regular match tomorrow. So
I think it's a good way to try to get it settled with the three-way tie while trying not to make the teams play too much because, like you said, they do have to come out for the national tournament.
They're going to have to play, 2 full games now. So that's the scenario today.
And it's not that bad on paper. That seems like these tournaments, they're used to playing back-to-back days. So if you play the full 20, that's still less. That's half of a half, and then you get another basically halftime and play. So it's about the equivalent of a half of soccer, so it's not terrible. When we were talking about this morning, it's like, that could be ugly if you're making them run 18 miles.
Well, you got to remember, not everybody's down. This isn't like a little kid's soccer game where every kid's chasing the ball. There's other guys on the other side that are resting a little bit. I mean, you don't run the whole time.
I think they'll be running a lot. But
not to discount the amount of they do run in a game.
Given the scores, they've been a lot of nils and ones. I'm going to guess they're going to play 40 minutes and then go to penalties. The line.
Well, I think they're 2 10-minute.
Well, but I bet both of them go 10, 10,
and
10,
then the
10.
penalty kicks. Yeah. Okay, so they ended up winning the golden goal on a penalty kick because there was a penalty in the box. So that's how they ended up getting the game winner. So that's coming up. And with Coach Raphael Simmons. Jeremy Combs talking about the game last night Miles Thompson had in North Platte, Nebraska. The Cougars, this was a great game to play. North Platte's always decent. I mean, they've been to the national tournament before, and you play them on the road, and it gets you ready for conference road games. And Barton was tested last night. The Cougars fought off North Platte, winning 74-71, and Miles Thompson leading the Cougars with 19 points, 10 rebounds. That was his third double-double of the season. The ninth-ranked Cougars improved to 6-0. Jeremy Combs says, we finally started getting them the ball down late, and he went to work. Barton opens up conference play Saturday afternoon. They'll take on Independence at 4. The Lady Pirates go against the Lady Cougars at 2 o'clock. It's kind of an interesting night. Barton got 40 points off their bench, 40 of the 74, and Miles Thompson played 31 minutes. None of the other starters played more than 22, and Keandre Kindrell with 13 points, and Brent Moss came off the bench with 17 for the Cougars. Lady Cougars, Cole Reifs, he was in Nebraska last night. Now he's headed to Oklahoma today. He never did confirm to me where Redlands was, so he's going somewhere in Oklahoma. El Reno, Oklahoma. They will take on Redlands, the Lady Cougars, a team they beat in the Cougar Booster Club Classic 74-41. They will try to get to 5-0 tonight. You can hear that game with Cole, 5:30 on B104.3 The Point. Call last night from ESPN on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Hunter Dickinson scores. He could have been down at the Great Bend Rec doing that. I mean, the town team king, big guy, gets position, uses his body well. 27 points, 20 rebounds. KU beats Kentucky 89-84. Bill Self talking about how that was a game of ebb and flows. I think KU got ahead 9-0, and then Kentucky with 9 3-pointers in the first half. KU survived all that. They were down by 14 points early in the second half. DeJuan Harris, 23 points, 7 assists. He did have 4 turnovers. That's trying to get the ball to Dickinson too much in the first half. The big story there, 5 of 6 from 3. I don't know if you can count on that every night, but DeJuan Harris helping the KU Jayhawks get a victory. They now play Chaminade in the Maui Invitational on Monday. Duke beats Michigan State in the first game last night, 74-65.
Telling Hesh this morning, I think Dickinson is Exhibit A for what the transfer portal should be. They said he's had more dunks already this year than he had in 2 years at Michigan. Who was Hunter Dickinson last year? Nobody. Now he's on the number 1 team. He
was an All-American last year, but yeah,
okay.
He also was his junior year. I can't, they have what's it called when you're not a senior anymore, but you're
graduate transfer?
Yeah, exact thing, yeah. A graduate transfer. He's a monster, isn't he?
Nice find for the Jayhawks.
My guy, Johnny Furphy, he did not go for free in that game, Corson. He didn't play that. Bill Self likes to play 8 guys, and then he'll have kind of a 9th guy that goes in and gets a few minutes. He's in his postseason rotation right now. Because you had Furphy played 12 minutes. Nicholas Timberlake, I wasn't too impressed with that guy last night. Played 13 and a half minutes, didn't score. 0 for 4 from the field. Parker Brown, the transfer from Santa Clara, he had a couple of points. And Jamari McDowell, a freshman guard, went for 2 last night, but played a 9-man rotation.
Can just say bye to Timberlake right now.
Jayhawks were in sync.
When he wasn't on the floor.
Yeah.
When he wasn't on the floor. So Kansas getting a win last night. Boo Corrigan. I wish my name was Boo.
No kidding, though.
Yeah, that's a cool name, you know?
Just, it'd be incredible.
Yo, Boo.
Especially for us radio guys, too. Just, can you imagine Boo Clark on the call? Like, oh, man.
Well, it's not too late to change your name.
I might have to. Might have to start going by Boo.
I think Corky would be a better name.
Corky Clark?
Corky Clark. Let's go live down to the...
that one might not have the same ring to it.
Here's Corky Clark on the call.
Yes,
anyway,
you might get after me for that one.
Boo Corrigan, he is the chairman of the College Football Playoff Committee, saying why Georgia, I don't know why he had to even explain it. Anybody watch that Georgia game, especially how they destroyed Mississippi after the game was 14-14 in the first half. But he did, saying 2 top 15 opponent victories over Missouri, and then they got the one against Mississippi on Saturday. So Washington was 5th again after Florida State. ESPN's Emmett Golden isn't so sure the Pac-12 shouldn't have someone in the college football playoff.
Maybe 2.
Well, it'll have to be Oregon because Washington's going down Saturday right here on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM as they take on Oregon State, 6 o'clock for the coverage. That'll follow USC, UCLA. We're going to be Pac-12 heavy on the radio on Saturday. We'll have the USC game at 2, and then Oregon State's impressive upset win over Washington in the nightcap.
So we've always said, oh, man, Georgia, Alabama, those guys play whatever, Michigan, Ohio State, so they don't like to weight those games too much, and that's going to happen here late in the season. How is Oregon, Washington any different? That was a close game, 2 top 6 teams.
Because they don't play in the SEC. Don't you watch this year after year? It's not fair, Mike. It needs to be. It doesn't have to be fair. No, we don't need blood. New blood. We had it in the World Series, and no one watched it.
We are remarkably close to getting a repeat of the first college football playoff that we saw as the last 4-team college football playoff before they expand to a 12-team. Could it happen that we see a couple upsets rock a certain way and all of a sudden we're back to what we saw in that first one, Ohio State? I had it in my head. It was Ohio State, Florida State, Oregon. Who was the 4th team in that first year?
Probably Alabama.
Probably Oklahoma, wasn't it? I mean, it
was probably was Alabama. You're right.
We'll see what happens. I just can't wait. Georgia taking on Alabama. I wish they'd play that under the lights on a grass field. That's what makes the SEC so fun to watch. I mean, they play between hedges. You know, they put rails out there. You play between the rails. Who maintains the hedges? Do you get a scholarship for doing that if you taking care of the bushes?
Call it a hedge fund.
Oh, God, we've got 2 of these guys going for these things right now. Joe Fortenbaugh of ESPN giving Sean Payton credit. Russell Wilson's playing better. He's not running like he did at Seattle, but he's picking his moments, and it's a great story. It's a great story, especially after they gave up 70 earlier this year. The Broncos surging to the playoffs.
And I think it's been more of a defensive turnaround for Denver. It was a big story early in the year how they weren't performing with some of the names.
Where can you go after
talent.
You give up 70 points?
Nowhere really to go but up from there.
Yes.
But they've been looking more like the elite defense that we saw last year with some of the pieces they have there. And so to attribute it to offense, the offense has definitely been going a a bit better than it did last year and early in this season, but to not even mention the Denver defense in the conversation for why the team has turned around seems a little bit disingenuous.
I just played a portion of the comment. He said the whole team was playing.
There you go.
See, yeah, you're doing what people, I just took a portion of that. Just a portion.
I got you.
He did give it. So you don't call Joe Fortenbaugh
disingenuous. I'll withdraw the disingenuous comment then.
Have you ever heard of that? People just taking sound bites of something to change an entire narrative, Mike?
I would. Can we do that? And just wonder if the whole thing is based on that.
And then there's this. $5,000. The guy made a full court putt.
Oh, a putt.
A putt at Baylor last night, and it's and it's going in the it's hard enough maybe just slapping a hockey puck through a little square box at one. They have that at the hockey games. This guy rolled it all the way down, and then it had a little edge at the end. And then it popped up and went right in the cup. Most amazing thing I've seen. That's the best. I hope that's on the ESPYs. We need to give putters everywhere a chance to be recognized for the skill that they possess.
If you kind of want to try that around here, the rack has that little hole in the wall. Put $1 in the jar, and I don't think anybody ever makes it in the hole in the wall.
Is it a mouse hole or what is it?
I don't know what it started, but it's a golf hole now.
All right, so there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. Okay, Hoistington fellas are here. We're going to talk Hoiston Cardinal football. We'll talk Barton Cougar soccer. And Gerard Welbach, voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers, here on the Wednesday edition of Sports Day. One more thing.
You mentioned the Lady Pirates. Do you know how to tell the difference?
I can't wait to find out.
A pink eye patch, Steve.
The one and only Mike Corson here on Sports Day.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Zach Strite, commercial lender for Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, if you love to dabble in the kitchen, well, Handlebar and Grill's looking for you at 807 East 10th Street in Great Bend. They are an equal opportunity employer. Stop on by and visit with Megan and the crew. Scott Donovan inviting you to stop on by today during our special Instant Finalist Day. By the way, congratulations goes out to Colette Keeler. She was our finalist yesterday from Great Bend. You have an opportunity to become Instant Finalist number 19 to win $10,000 cash on December 16th. From Mater Plumbing, Heating, and Air, your Brian dealer, and Bauer Computers. So stop on by today. Enjoy some great lunch. They're open for lunch, dinner, and drinks every Tuesday through Saturday and Sundays from 11 until 3. And yes, they do need some help in the kitchen. So talk to Megan, figure it out. Handlebar and Grill, place to be today. Stop on by before 7 o'clock tonight and get qualified. Our shopping over the holidays, $10,000 shopping spree. 807 East 10th Street in Great Bend, the place to be, Handlebar and Grill.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back, Sports Day, brought to you in part by Equity Bank. Your hometown sports partner. Visit one of their 5 local area banks in Great Bend, Larned, Maxville, and St. John. That's equitybank.com. Also, advanced therapy and sports medicine. Get your life back. Houston Cardinal football talk today. They go to Norton on Friday to take on the Norton Blue Jays. Zach Baird back in studio today. I like your regular visits at this time of season.
I do too, man. We got to do this more often.
Yeah, well, we can just keep rolling, man. We can do that. Also in studio today, Taryn Kraft. Good to see you. And also Jason Robinson. I don't recognize these guys when they don't have their helmets on and stuff like that. So this is what they look like, huh?
This is them, man.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, we broke down this game last week. Coach, I want you to know that I was the only person that sat in here on this radio station and said, I think you guys got it all wrong. There's going to be close to 1,000 yards of total offense in this game. I think both teams are going to just break out, and it's going to be a high-scoring affair, and those guys didn't agree with me at all, and look what happened. 49-42, you go out and take care of Southeast of Saline. Congratulations.
Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, it was probably not how most envisioned it playing out, but, it was 2 good football teams. I thought both teams played extremely hard, and both teams had good athletes that made big plays, and it just was nonstop, and luckily we made one more than they did.
And I was talking to Cole about this yesterday. It's kind of weird to say, and I know you didn't feel it if you're on the sideline coaching it at a time, but as someone who was watching the game, I felt you guys were in control of the game the entire way, especially after they go 3 and out on that first possession.
Yeah, I don't think the start could have been any better for us. To get that defensive stand right off the bat and then have a drive and kind of a physical one to kind of set the tone for what we were going to do offensively. And then once we get that first turnover, that's where it really felt like, hey, now it's kind of in our hands. And obviously we saw to continue to play really well and play hard for the remainder of the game, but just felt like we were in a good spot.
Okay, starting the second half against Beloit, I was talking to Cole how many times they'd been stopped. I think it was a turnover in there, maybe a punt at the end of the game. Did you open the whole can of everything at halftime of the Beloit game, because your offense has not hardly been stopped?
During the Beloit game, we really didn't make any major adjustments. I just thought we played really tight to start that game. Mm-hmm. And, we continued to do what we were doing for the most part against them. We're blessed. We've got really good athletes that work hard, and they're smart kids and know what they're supposed to do. And then they're not selfish whatsoever. It's not about them, and that's their approach. It's just, what can I do to help the team win? And I think when you have a bunch of guys like that, you put all that together and you execute offensively, you can do some things.
You had to put some doubt in that team's mind. I mean, they came in with the longest winning streak in the state, and to go in there and stop them and have so much success against them, that probably put them on their heels a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be a big challenge for us. Obviously, Southeast is really well coached. They've got good players. And, but it's like we told our guys coming in, like this is Elton Brown, man. You just don't walk in and we've had groups that have really bought into that over the years. And so super proud of how we played and how hard we played. But, the focus was on just, us. It was on us. We got to execute. We got to play hard. We've got to do what we do better than them. And that's all it was. And our guys made plays.
Taryn, 31 carries. Is that something Zach told you before the game? Say, you're probably going to be up there in the 30s, maybe the 40s, but talk about 31 carries in that game, and you kept having success right at the teeth of that defense. Talk about the offense and how you were able to move the ball on the ground.
I got to give credit for my offensive line. Well, just the main reason why I can move the ball that fast. Move it, just keep moving.
Talk about is that a read option with Tony when you're coming down, especially when you're running at that tight, between the guard, center, right in that area?
Yeah, we can run double option, just me and Tony, or we can run triple option, which is like 3-8, so we have a pitch key. So we can just pitch it out if someone's trying to get Tony.
Did you feel any frustration from Southeast as you kept going on? Because those guys, everybody been talking about their defense all season long. Did you feel that frustration a little bit coming from the opponents in the white Friday night?
Yeah, once we started moving on them on offense, they started talking some and saying, just being mean, I guess.
They were talking to you?
Yeah.
What were they talking about, man? That was a heck of a run, man. A way to go. That was really good. So how much confidence did that opening drive give you?
A lot, knowing that we can move the ball on that good of a defense. Just easy. It was pretty easy first drive.
Talk about that first drive for you, Jason, to go out there and be able to do that. What was that side? You go out there and score, and you're up right away. What was the feeling on the team right there?
We were pretty psyched for that. It was exciting. Everybody was getting jacked. Go 3 and out, and then score. It was a big thing.
Yeah, to go out there and 3 and out, you get the ball right back. Talk about that first possession going down as far as the execution-wise. You had a little outside-inside action in that opening drive.
Yeah, we were just attacking everywhere, and they couldn't stop it.
That was my daughter calling, by the way. She doesn't listen to the show, so that should tell you how we go. You scored a touchdown in the game on the ground. Tell me about that play in the second half.
It was pretty easy. I had good blocks going into it, so it wasn't that hard.
I would have said, I stiff-armed somebody and knocked them out of the way. You didn't have a catch in that game, did you?
No.
Okay. Did you feel as kind of you got a little extra attention in that contest?
Yeah. I mean, not really.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, it opened up things for everyone else. I do want to ask you because, the Sandman starts. Who is responsible for opening the gate on where you guys run out? I mean, what if you ran out too early? You're all packed in there and ready to run out, and the Sandman's playing. Who gives you the green light to go?
You guys know?
I have no idea.
I actually think it's somebody on the chain gang. I'm not 100% sure who it is, but yeah, it's not up to them. We try to take as many decisions out of their hands as possible. But I couldn't give you a name. But whoever does it has it down to a T, and we always come out at the same time. But
when you're working, Jason, in the summer and everything, what were the goals for this football team going into the year?
Just be as physical and as best effort that we could.
Have you seen that ramp up here?
Yeah, definitely. When we hit playoffs, I feel like it went up a whole lot.
How satisfying? Tell me about the locker room after that.
They got hype. They got pretty hyped.
Did Coach Baird yell at halftime of this game?
No.
Really?
No. He was pretty confident.
Okay, I was going to say.
I'm not much of a yeller. I don't know what you're
just
about here.
You're just barking, instructions. Okay. The running attack. Talk about the offensive line again, because you did it, and Zach, I'll go ahead and let you start, because you were down a man in the second half, right? I mean, you had a...
Yeah. Braden went down, and, obviously he's had a great year up to this point, and hopefully we get him back. It's next man up, and we, you try to prepare for as many different scenarios as you can. The last thing you want to do is put a kid in there who hadn't had the reps to get ready and have that type of experience. So I thought Brady Rife came in and did a fantastic job for us. But I just thought up front, it was a tough matchup because D-line wise, I felt like was probably the strength of their defense. I thought is it Monday?
Yeah.
Number 50. Number 50 is a really, really good football player.
Athletic.
And and quick, get off, and then 75 is also another really good player. And unfortunately, they lost the kid early too, so it was kind of a bad night. But, we knew their defensive line was really good, and they'd given a lot of people problems throughout the entire year. So, I just thought it was a combination. I thought we were good up front. We didn't win every battle up front, every play. But when we didn't win them, I felt like, we made good reads, and Taryn made good cuts and ran through arm tackles. And I thought we distributed the ball enough. I would like to probably have been a little bit more balanced, but distributed enough to spread around to where they just couldn't key in on one person.
Yeah, you mentioned Monday, and Ellsworth tried to run at him with a lot of angles and stuff like that. You just went straight at him.
Yeah, he's tough.
Kind of neutralized that.
He's tough. He's a 190-pound athlete. He plays with great pad level. He's got a quick get off. He's just tough to block, and he's so aggressive. And so, he made some plays against us and disrupted some things, but I can't remember what we ended up with on the ground, but I just thought we executed really well. And I thought midline was good for us, but we were able to attack him a little bit all over the place.
Taryn Kraft, Jason Robinson also in with us on the show today. Okay, I'm sure you've seen a little bit of Norton on tape this week, and you'll see a lot more. Let's talk about them on defense. What stands out for you, Taryn?
They're just big. They're just big and physical.
And then on the offensive side, what are you going to be looking for?
I'm looking for downhill blocks at middle linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for downhill from the fullback, and the tackles.
Jason, what have you seen from Norton watching them? On defense first.
Big. Feel like we're faster, though. Quicker.
Yeah, and then the same thing on defensive-wise and things like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys ready to go for this?
Oh, yeah.
What's the support been this year? I mean, it always is great, but this time of year to be playing this late in November, what's that like? I was practicing basketball every year at this time, so.
Yeah, we got a lot of support from our fans. Like, last game we had a lot of people. That was the most people I've ever seen at a high school football game that I've ever been to, so yeah, it was a lot.
So what do your brothers say about this run you guys have been on?
They're excited about it.
Okay. They're not saying anything, well, back in my day, my team, no, they haven't done that yet? Okay, all right. Taryn, as you get ready for this game, I mean, are you ready to play now? I mean, you still got 2 more days, but talk about what you're feeling here on a Wednesday.
I feel like right now we could go beat them right now.
I like that. Coach Baird?
We need the 2 more days.
Yeah.
we got a lot of prep work that needs to get done, and we got to get some things ironed out. But you know, they're good, and they're here for a reason. That they're big and physical, and they muddy the game up front. D-line wise, it's another test again. Like, I feel like that's the strength of their defense as well, is their D-line and how much pressure they're able to get on quarterbacks and how much they disrupt the run game. I mean, they're everywhere, and so you know, we've got to play our best game of the year. It's you don't go 11-0 and get to the semis by luck, you know. So it's a really good football team that we'll have waiting for us, and you know, we got to be able to execute like we did last Friday and play with that same type of effort and intensity.
They can throw the ball. How's their passing attack different than what Southeast tried to do?
I mean, it's going to be similar in some ways. It's different in some ways. You know, formations are a little bit different at times. You know, Southeast didn't have a 6'4", 230-pound kid that they want to throw it to like Norton has. You know, so their weapons are a little bit different, but both quarterbacks are really good. You know, both teams do a good job executing their scheme. You know, so we're going to be good on the back end, a lot better than we were last week. And you know, up front, we got to try to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback.
How does that make you feel? I mean, Norton is, you know, in high school football lore has been there a long time, and now the success you guys have had over the last decade, you're kind of up in that same thing where, you know, you see, okay, well, it's Norton Smith Center, it's Norton Hoisington. That's kind of a tribute to your program and all the kids that have come through it. This is a big boy matchup.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. We've been blessed with really good players over the last 10 years, and, you know, and had really good assistants on top of it. But you know, it's just it's a special place in my mind. You know, Hoisington is. You know, I see our old guys come back that aren't playing, and they're nothing but supportive. You know, and so you look back in 14, 15, 16. That's kind of the groups that this whole thing was built upon. I mean, they were the first groups we had, and you know, so in a way, you know, we're playing for those guys as well. You know, they obviously can't do it anymore. These guys got the opportunity to do it, but it's their turn to carry the torch. You know, and super proud of what they've been able to accomplish so far, but there's obviously still work to be done.
Okay, feelings going into this one?
I'm excited. I'm excited for our guys to get this opportunity. As hard as they've worked, they deserve it, you know. And you know, obviously nobody's going to give them anything, but, you know, they gave themselves a chance to earn this and to be successful. So, you know, it's another game. It's a high school football game. We got to do what we do. We got to execute better on defense, and then offensively, you know, kind of the same. Take care of the football, establish the run game, and then make plays through the air.
Can't wait. Friday night. Darren, good luck. Jason, thanks for coming over and getting out of class today, for sacrificing to come in here. Zach, thanks for setting it all up.
Yeah.
Good luck Friday. Hope we're right back in here next week.
Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, that's Sports Day here. Hoisington Cardinals against the Norton Blue Jays. Cole Wright, Jason Perry with a call on 100.7 Eagle Country, 6:30 on Friday night.
You don't have to be a pro to capture memories this holiday season. At Nextech Wireless, get the latest phones to share those precious moments. For a limited time, get the new iPhone 15 or Samsung Galaxy S23 on us. Nextech Wireless, home on the range.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Get started with a career in healthcare through Barton Community College's Pharmacy Technician program. Gain the skills you need to assist pharmacists with the day-to-day demands of a pharmacy. Classes are 100% online and include real-world experiences at a pharmacy near you. Join this essential field in as little as 2 semesters with the flexibility of online classes. Now enrolling. Learn more at pharmtech.bartonccc.edu.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
Hi, my name is Dalton Jones, a patient that I helped. She came in with chronic back pain that she'd been having for years. After several weeks of showing her exercises, several different interventions, we were able to get her back to where she can do her shopping without leaning on the shopping cart at all.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Barton Soccer Time here on Sports Day, and Raphael Simmons joining us right now. His team still alive at the national tournament, not in the semifinals. We'll get to what's going on today, but they scored in the 85th minute yesterday against Salt Lake, then get the golden goal. They win 2-1. You're still alive, Coach. You're still alive in the national tournament. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good feeling. Stressful though, and we'll see. It's crazy things going on over here. All of our games have been a little wild and crazy so far.
Sets up a wild and crazy scenario. Again, we'll get more to that here in just a moment. Okay, you're down 1-0. It's getting late, Coach. You need a goal. How'd you get it?
Yeah, we were playing well. We had a couple of chances. We actually hit the bar and the post overall like 3 times. So I thought we were playing well. Chances were coming. But within the last 5 minutes, I knew we had to throw everything we could and try to make something happen. So we changed our formation a little bit. We went a little bit more attacking. We put 5 forwards on the field and tried to make something happen. And it didn't come from those guys. It actually came from a corner from a defender that scored. So it's just crazy how the game goes.
Well, you had it, Matt. You had it all set up. So then you head into extra time. Tell me about the game winner, the golden goal.
Yeah, it was actually a penalty kick. We created a good chance. Put a cross into the box. They cleared it. Came back to one of our players. We kind of put another cross in, and everybody mishit it. It kind of missed the header. The goalkeeper came out, kind of touched it, but at the same time, he grabbed one of our players and pushed him down. So the referee called a penalty, and one of our guys stepped up. Probably a tough situation to step up with a lot of things on the line, and but he put it away and scored a goal to get us through.
Who was it?
It was Nico Galanis, number 31.
Okay, so that moment is set up, and yeah, I've always been amazed because the entire season comes down to one guy and one kick. Do you have a chance to talk to Nico before that, or is it just kind of he's out there?
It happened pretty quick, but it was also on the other side of our bench. So our bench was kind of to the right of the half, and it was on the left side of the half. It was right in front of the Salt Lake bench. So all I told him is I told him who the taker is. Those 2 other guys want him to take it, so I just told him he's the one that's going to take it, and he's taken a couple throughout the season, and I trust him to do it. So I didn't want to look because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I had faith that he was going to be able to do it.
Now, yesterday we had a scenario you had to win by 2 goals. So as soon as you made it, did you know the scenario that you guys were still alive, or just that you'd won the game and you had to wait?
No. So we looked at every single scenario. We knew that if Salt Lake had won by any score, they would have gone through. If we had won by 1-0, Indian Hills would have gone through. A 2-1 would have been the 3-way tie, and anything else over that, whether it was going to be 3-1 or 3-2 or whatever, 4-3, it would have been us. So we knew we had to score goals. And but yeah, once we went into overtime and it was 1-1, I knew if we could get a goal, it would be the three-way tie. We didn't know exactly what would happen, but we knew everybody was going to be still alive.
So describe the moment.
It was
a pretty good picture of you.
A lot of relief. A lot of relief. Everybody was excited and happy, and I think the players stormed the field, and a couple of people in the crowd stormed the field. I even think the Indian Hill fans, then the players that were there watching, stormed the field too.
Okay, and so Todd Moore, who wrote the story, and the recap, he kind of said, okay, this afternoon a bizarre mini pool tournament will be held as a trio of teams in the pool are tied. Okay, Raphael Simmons, take me through what's going to happen today. This is are these regular length games or how's it work? Okay, all right.
Shortened, and from what I've heard, this is the first time it's ever happened. So we're kind of trying to figure out as we go as well. What it is going to be a shortened 20-minute sudden death golden goal game.
Okay.
Basically like an overtime in a regular game. We play 10 minutes, take a little break, play 10 minutes. Whoever scores anytime wins the game and goes through, and then they'll play again. So it's us and Indian Hills the first game, and the winner will play Salt Lake in the second game.
Wow.
Salt Lake got the bye.
Okay, so all right, because I was wondering, I said, gee, man, they can play 2 full games. That would.
Yeah, that would be a lot.
Yes,
a lot to do. Okay,
so, Coach, what's your strategy to go into instant sudden death?
Yeah, I was feeling good yesterday. Today I woke up a little bit stressed over it because you just never know. We can make one silly mistake or something, and we can give up a goal without even like playing bad, and lose the game. So it's gonna be interesting. I think we're gonna go out to try and win the game early and attack, because if it stays at a tie, it goes to penalty kicks, and we don't want to see penalty kicks. So we'll try and get an early goal and then try and move on and see what we can do in the second game.
So there would be 2 periods before you would go to penalty kicks. Is that correct?
Yes, two 10 minutes periods. Yeah.
Okay, so the guys get some rest last night, or?
As much as we could. It was, I think like I said, we had the craziest kind of tournament out of any other team, and we probably played the most minutes out of any other team, and we had to play. Obviously, we played our first day with only 9 guys for a long time, so it's been a lot of stress put on these guys' legs and bodies over the last 2 days, and now we got to play an extra game or an extra 2 games possibly, and then if we win, we have to turn around and play tomorrow where the other teams have been resting. So it'll be interesting. We're doing our best, but I think we got a good group of guys, and they're motivated. And today is not necessarily about. I don't think it's about tactics or fitness or anything. It's about who wants it more and who's the smartest to try and get it done.
Indian Hills, heck, you guys went toe-to-toe with them without 2 guys. So does that give you any confidence at all?
Yeah, it should. And we get those guys back now, too. So we'll have them back. They missed yesterday's game because they had to serve a suspension. So now they're back. So that will be a big boost. And I think they'll be hungry. They'll be excited. And I think the whole team will be happy to have them back. And hopefully we can do well.
1 p.m. today.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got this auction overtime thing going, or this auction showcase tomorrow, so you're going to have to win so we can have you back on the show Friday and talk about the national championship match, okay? So tell you guys that, okay? Yeah. Man, what a ride, and you do it again today. Good luck not once but twice today. Go take care of business.
Thank you.
Raph, thanks for joining us here on Sports Day.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Barton Soccer Talk. 1 o'clock today, Indian Hills. Interesting tie-breaking scenario in Wichita today. Sports Day rolling on after this.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Extend the life of your equipment with Cenex Premium Greases. Engineered with quality-based oils and well-balanced formulas to protect equipment in a wide range of temperatures and tough conditions. The Cenex line of grease products offer excellent rust protection, water resistance, and anti-wear properties to extend equipment life. Cenex Grease delivers the dependability you need to keep your operation running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
He's been the voice of the Tigers for over 20 years, much longer than Wyatt Thompson, Steve Webster, and the legendary Bob Davis. And he's not even that old yet. Here's Gerard Wellbrock.
Jared Wellbrock joining us here on the Wednesday show, the voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Football season has come to an end, Gerard, and it pains me to sit in here with a hornet. Said, we were talking about cool names for broadcasters because Boo Corrigan, that would be a cool broadcast name, How about Corky Clark?
I like that.
Yeah, CC. I like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Emporia State.
Yeah, not bad.
Emporia State comes to town, gets a high-scoring victory. Talk about the game on Saturday.
Highly entertaining. I mean, it was a fun game. Really came down to just 4 days, made a couple of more mistakes, and had good. To me, they muffed a punt late, and that obviously is the most glaring play of the game because Emporia scores their first possession third quarter. The only thing that stopped them on their first 7 possessions was right before halftime. They ran out of time. They scored and everything else, and then Fort Hays State stopped them. Then the rest of the way, the only time they scored was after a muff punt after Fort Hays State had cut it to 3, got a stop. And, I mean, Trevor Watts had a remarkable season, a remarkable game. He had over 200 receiving yards, 13 catches. And, I mean, of all the people you won fielding that punt, it was him. And it's just one of those, you could feel it. Earlier in the game, he had one. He let go. They pinned the Tigers at the 2. I think that played into it. It was came off the foot a little funny. You could just feel it when the ball was kicked. It was going to be trouble. And, and Emporia gets the ball close. They score, put them back up 10, and Fort Hays could never overcome it. But fun game. I mean, offensively, Fort Hays State played really, really well. I thought Jack Dawson maybe had his best game. He had some guys step up. And Emporia State's really good. I mean, Braden Gleason he's a great quarterback. He runs well. I don't think his running gets enough credit because he's got such crazy passing numbers and got a lot of good receivers. I mean, it was just a fun football game. It's unfortunate the Tigers lost.
Okay. Was it MIAA? It seemed like there was a lot of scoring in the league this year, but of course I would follow it like you were. But it's
yeah. Well, I think on the top end you had Emporia, you had Central Missouri. You had 2 of the most high prolific offenses in the country in the league. Northwest kind of got it figured out. They were derailed by injuries and they lost their quarterback, and then they weren't as good as they'd been, but they were better than they I think ended up. They started to get on track, scored some points. And Fort Hays was pretty consistent all year, and they had a high-scoring game there. So, yeah, I'd say I haven't gone back to compare it to years past, but, I mean, Emporia and Central Missouri, I mean, those offenses are crazy good and efficient and just really hard to defend. So, yeah, there's a lot of points put up.
Put this season in perspective, Gur.
They won 3 games last year. They won 7 games this year. I mean, that says a lot. In the MIAA to do that is not easy. I think, and a lot of people before the year asked me, what do you think, how that goes?
Yeah.
And I always told them I have no idea how many games they're going to win, but I think you're going to see a core of players that you're going to see get better every week, and you're going to leave this season thinking, this group's got a chance to be really good before they're done. And I think that happened, and they were able to get 7 wins. We're on the cusp of getting 8. It would have been neat to win the last one just for the symmetry of 3 to 8 to 8-3. But still, the 4-game swing from the year before, you have a lot of people back. And there'll be some who decide not to at the portal and everything. But I think you have a good core, and you just tell this team it had a different feel. They had a brotherhood, and I thought the coolest thing for Senior Day, and they only honored 6 of them. And you always have a couple players who are from further away. Their family couldn't get out here. And you have somebody there with them. Their whole position group was there. We had Jason Wallace, all-conference defensive tackle. The rest of the D-line were out there for his Senior Day. Same thing with one of the running backs whose parents couldn't get up here from Texas. The rest of the running back room was there with him. I thought that was cool, and that said a lot about this team. The culture has turned. This group, if nothing else, got the culture back to where it was pre-COVID. What that means, do they make the playoffs, do they win conference titles, who knows? But the culture is there, the winning culture, and just the expect the win, and then do what you have to do to win. Just the off season, all those things that go into it. It's exciting. I think they lay the groundwork for hopefully some even bigger and better years to come.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because a lot of programs say it's a rebuild, but the success that Van Fort Hays was churning out, and then it's kind of a reset, what a nice reset this year. So
absolutely, I think it's a great way to put it. Yep, good reset.
Okay, looking at the all-conference team that was announced, Mason Perez, Larned, MIAA second team.
Great season. It was fun to watch him. I've said all along, I mean, even though he probably played a lot early when he wasn't ready, it helped him, and you're seeing that now. And there's a couple plays, I mean, Emporia receivers got free a little bit, but that happened to a lot of guys. But he had a great year, fun to watch. Miles Benjis, I think he should have been first team. I think he had a first team all conference type year. But there's a lot of good players in the league. But I think the fact we just had our coaches show, Chris was pretty happy. He thought a couple of the second teamers probably should have been first team. Maybe Jason Wallace, who was second team D lineman, one of the few seniors. But it was a good group, and obviously you win 7, you get more on the team, but also you're seeing a reason they were able to have a 4-swing turnaround. I mean, they had guys play well. Now, can they do it again next year? Those who are coming back, but I think it's a pretty good representation in a year that there were some really, really good dudes in the league.
So, Fort Hays should have a lot of guys back next year.
Should. I mean, I did see already, like their third-string quarterback, Ethan Forster, has entered the portal. They're always going to have a few of those guys. But the core, and I think the core will stick around because of everything we just talked about, what they've built, that brotherhood, and the fact that, guys, we're close. We're right there. We do this, and we keep working. We're going to, just another year, we got a chance to maybe, contend for a title and get back to the playoffs. So I think that's going to be a good driving force. I think the way they lost, I mean, that hit them hard. Losing to Emporia the way they did, they thought they could have won. It would have gotten them a bowl game if they'd have won it. I think that's going to be a driving force for them in the offseason, which I think is always good to have that. It's exciting. I just tell Chris, man, it'll get here quick, but everybody is so excited for 2024. And there's going to be a lot of expectations, but it's going to be a team that's going to have a lot of guys who got some good experience, and hopefully they're ready to meet those expectations.
How many MIAA teams moving on to postseason, Gur?
Let's see. Missouri Western, they were going to have an announcement today about a bowl game. Emporia's going to a bowl, and then Central Missouri and Pitt are in the playoffs. Both are going to host. I think both will have a decent chance to win at home, and then we'll see. One's going to have to go to Grand Valley. The other one probably gets Ferris State. So it'll be something. But yeah, Pitt and Central, and they'll have a chance to make a run. They're really, really good. It'll be interesting, Central, with their offense. They pass it so much. If they have to go north when it could be really cold, how that translates. But 2 really good teams.
Jordan, we appreciate it. And are you working next Wednesday?
I'll be around. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm not.
Yeah,
So
you're not. You're not.
Well, no, the boys
Yeah.
will. So okay, they'll make sure to give you a call. I don't want to be. I don't want to be rude here. I'm going to hang up on you because I've got to tell the folks about some great sponsors. So appreciate it, Ger.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, you too, Gerard. Gerard Wellbrock, voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers, here on Sports Day, brought to you in part by Eller Automotive Repair, a local mechanic that can help behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, and in part by Venture Corporation, reminding you to help a neighbor, shop local when you can. It's Sports Day, the Wednesday edition on KVGB.
Get started with a career in healthcare through Barton Community College's Pharmacy Technician program. Gain the skills you need to assist pharmacists with the day-to-day demands of a pharmacy. Classes are 100% online and include real-world experiences at a pharmacy near you. Join this essential field in as little as 2 semesters with the flexibility of online classes. Now enrolling. Learn more at pharmtech.bartonccc.edu.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey, if you love to dabble in the kitchen, well, Handlebar and Grill's looking for you at 807 East 10th Street in Great Bend. They are an equal opportunity employer. Stop on by and visit with Megan and the crew. Scott Donovan inviting you to stop on by today during our special Instant Finalist Day. By the way, congratulations goes out to Colette Keeler. She was our finalist yesterday from Great Bend. You have an opportunity to become Instant Finalist number 19 to win $10,000 cash on December 16th. From Mater Plumbing, Heating, and Air, your Brian dealer, and Bauer Computers. So stop on by today, enjoy some great lunch. They're open for lunch, dinner, and drinks every Tuesday through Saturday and Sundays from 11 until 3. And yes, they do need some help in the kitchen. So talk to Megan, figure it out. Handlebar and Grill, place to be today. Stop on by before 7 o'clock tonight and get qualified. Our shopping over the holidays, $10,000 shopping spree. 807 East 10th Street in Great Bend, the place to be, Handlebar and Grill.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on KVGB, brought to you in part by the Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country. I was so excited. I saw Miles Mingus, who went to college as an 8-man quarterback, moves to defensive end and makes second team all-conference. I think I'm the only other person to ever do that, although I was a second team all-MIAA, a second team KCAC, but
he's following in some big footsteps. Yeah. That's what you're trying to say. He's got some big shoes to fill.
Update from Wichita.
The Cougars and Warriors are headed to a second overtime period after going scoreless in the first 10 minutes. Warriors controlled the ball for much of that first overtime period, so now moved into the second. Waiting on that golden goal to see who will get the opportunity to advance on and play Salt Lake for a chance to go on to the national tournament on Thursday.
Hopefully it is a Barton golden goal or a bunch of golden goals and a penalty kickoff.
They let them tire themselves out in the first 10 minutes, and now it's all going to be all Barton.
Indian Hills. You know where that's at?
I do
Ohio?
not.
Keokuk, Iowa. Keokuk. Yeah, the Barton
basketball
played up there
powerhouse.
1 year. Oh, yeah. Played Barton for the national championship.
Seems like they're in there every year.
Got some nice teams. Mike Corson, look forward to seeing you on the AM Great Bend show. Aaron, I'll see you later. Hash, love you.